Welcome to the Jehovih Chronicles with your host, Cosmoncal.
That's right. Right back at it like I left something. It's your hostess with the mostest, burning like toast is. Cosmon Cal, man. Hey, your naga. Your nerve fresh off of the curb. Jelly jam and preserve right back up at it with some more hotness. Hey, I was noticing when we did the last live reviewing the Terrence Howard stuff, right? That they had different outtakes from Joe Rogan, from his speech at Oxford and all that stuff. And they had one where he was wearing a wig, right? So beyond it, that was just interesting to see what the hell he was wearing a wig for. Understandably, that he's a actor and could be wearing it for any reason. You did what I'm talking about. I thought, you know, his answers during those times were the most poignant and the most clear, right? So I wanted to go back and actually find that video, and I actually found it. So I wanted to do a quick review on Howard, Terrence Howard in his periodic table in his way of cosmogony. Now you're gonna hear a lot of things, just like last time. You know what I mean? You're gonna hear a lot of things. He right on point with old Waspy, but it's you know what I mean, in a lot of ways, but it's just backwards, as we explained. And I wanted to kind of show also, because he is right, he is going to, especially in many particulars, he's doing something to change the world. He's going to have so many naysayers. People are going to attack him out of nowhere, not only physically, but they're going to come at him intellectually, come at his doctrine, everything. Now, but I want y'all to notice, everybody who is against what he's saying never addresses the work that he's putting forward. They're addressing the way he is personally bringing it forward, right? Like, for instance, they're worried about that he's a method actor, and you know what I mean? He could be opening himself up to spirits. Well, first of all, if you are, that thing looked like it hurt. You got to drink some more water, baby. Drink more water. Growing. Hey, you about to get tall. Anyways, my bad, y'all. They never really address the information. Oh, he's crazy. Oh, he's this. And he's a method actor, and he opens himself up to spirits, and he loses himself in the role. Oh, it's dangerous. And that's actually a good point, but they don't know that. Remember, many of these people are church religious-fad, or have been hurt by the church, coming up out of the church, and are disillusioned by religion in and of itself. And many are just wannabe smart guys who may actually know a lot. But remember, it doesn't matter what you know, it's how you're applying it. And what they are doing is, they don't have not only are they not addressing the claim that he's making, right? Nobody is actually addressing the claim that he's making. They, even when they try to shoot him down, they don't have a better idea. You dig what I'm talking about? If you gonna say, well, no, Cosmon, we shouldn't go to the left over here, right? And I'm saying, well, left is where all the good stuff is. Look, they got lions, tigers, and bears over there to the right. I know you can't see them, right? But by the calculations that we done about where lions, tigers, and bears should be, they right over there. Whatever we do, let's not go that way. They're going to come with every reason to go to the right. Or every reason, what you're going to find out is that they're not even moving in the opposite direction. They're just staying where they are, regurgitating what they've commonly heard over and over and over again, whether it's true or not. They don't have a better idea. You dig what I'm talking about? I can't tell the dope boy to stop slanging dope if I can't, and then turn around and give him something in lieu of the cash he would be missing so his family won't starve. I got to then, if I'm telling him to get off the court, I got to give him a job that feed him, at least in the same way, keep him safe. I can't say get up out of there and then what, starve? No. You got to have a better idea if you're going to shoot somebody else's down. They don't have a better idea. Their idea is to regurgitate Newton. Their idea is to regurgitate Keeley. Their idea is to regurgitate Maxwell. Not understanding we're standing already in the Cosmon era on the shoulder of these gentlemen. Now it's time to do something, take what they brought and go to the next level. And what they don't understand is that science and spirituality are hand in hand. To say you know one is to admit you know the other. It's just like prophecy. To say you know how to prophesy, you're already admitting that you know cosmogony. To say you know cosmogony means you know how to prophesy. Right? Absolute rules govern all this stuff, right? But I don't want to talk too much. I want to let this boy get this young man get to his what he bringing out. And this is Tara Howard does the thing. Look how they, it's catch bait. It's catch bait. I probably need to change mine to some catch bait. You dig what I'm talking about? Maybe you'll see it. You dig what I'm talking about? So let's get to it.
Welcome to.
First and foremost, man, all praises to the ever present, the all that was, is, and ever shall be, the creator, the first and the last, the condenser, the mover, the all in all, the source of all truth and light. Shout out to the creator. Shout out to the faith. Shout out to the Essenes, Nazarenes, and all true Israelites and praisers of the Great Spirit. Shout out to the Algonquins. You dig what I'm talking about? Shout out to our Iroquois and Siouan family also too. You dig what I'm talking about? Y'all gonna have to get over it, man. We in many parts of that mix ain't no 100% nothing on the planet. Nothing. So we got to get past the lookership, the hate, the racism, the bias. This is why I was so glad to just do something different. You know what I mean? The last couple of weeks dealing with the Hebrews, man, it's so low vibratory. You know what I mean? They kind of draw on you. You know what I mean? Like try to, attempt to pull you down. You got to rise above that and just be a higher person. But I ain't going to say that, that it don't affect you, that you don't hear it. You dig what I'm talking about? It's just that it's not real. So adding or commenting on anything that they do, you dig what I'm talking about, is adding legitimacy to a lie. Let all of them stand on whatever it is they standing from. The fact is, your God failed you. Right? But let's get to it real quick.
Straight Talk with Daphne Fini. I am so excited to give you another exclusive one-on-one interview with the one and only Terrance D. Howard. I didn't say the whole middle name.
I like it though.
You like it?
I like Deshaun.
Deshaun. I like Deshaun too.
Mama gave me Deshaun.
She did. That's awesome. Because you're special.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
I was on a little bus.
Man, thumb up the video, sub, like, share, man. Listen, however many people in here, I should have that many shares. You dig what I'm talking about? Unless you just looky-looing on the sideline. Share this on your platform, your media platforms. You do everything else on there. Why not shed some light? You dig what I'm saying? Let's go.
Not the short one, though.
I was on a short bus.
Not the short little
Yeah,
bus.
when I was in second grade, because I was saying, wow, that's the prettiest color blue I've ever heard. And the teacher was like, you can't, colors don't have. So I was like, yes, they do. It's like, no, no, they don't. And they ended up sending me to a remedial school for
Did y'all hear
about
what
a
he said?
year. And I
Listen.
was like, nah. The people that were there were so incredible. The kids went to a remedial school. The teacher was like, you can't, colors don't have. So grade, because I was saying, wow, that's the prettiest color blue I've ever heard. And the teacher was like, you can't,
He said, that's the prettiest color blue he ever heard. Listen.
Colors don't have. So I was like, yes, they do. It's like, no, no, they don't. And they ended up sending me to a remedial school for about a year. And I was just like, nah. The people that were there were so incredible, the kids, because they saw things differently.
Right. Yeah.
But what it turned out is I had everyone's born with synesthesia, and that's just the ability to have more than one stimuli can affect multiple receptors.
Right.
And so sound or color will have a sound, or shapes will have a taste, all of those things. And every child is born with it.
Right.
The problem is, the first thing a kid wants to do, he wants to put things in his mouth because he has an idea or an expectation of what that's supposed to taste like, and that informs him. But when we don't allow them to put things in their mouth, and we don't talk to them about the relationship between light and color, or sound and tone, and matter and shape, it dies as a result of atrophy. But everyone has that ability to.
Did you see what he said? Did y'all pick up on what he said? He's perceiving correctly, right? And he said that there's a relationship between sound and shape and color and all that. Is he correct? Yes, but remember, let me show you where he just a little off. Let me show you where he a little off, right? This is what he don't know. He think it's a relationship between sound and light. No, let me show you what it is, and what you perceiving and what you haven't just allowed yourself to open up to see, bro, is that sound and light or color or taste or feel or emotion, what they call it, emotion, flavor, you know what I mean, taste, are all the same thing. They don't have a relationship. They are the same thing. Prove it, Cosmon. Prove it. Right? Everybody else be talking. I be showing sources. Right? As previously shown, this is the book of cosmogony. Right? 9 and 2. right? As I roll up my splipper tank, what we blowing on today? What is these? Cherry Pop Tarts, right? As I roll up my splipper ting. As this is 9 and 2, Book of Cosmogony and Prophecy, right? Y'all go ahead, check this out, man. Remember, I don't say nothing. I came back up and show you why I'm saying what I'm saying, and I'm only saying what the Creator of sun, moon, and stars is saying, right? This ain't my opinion on it, right? Dig this. As previously shown, I think I can blow that up just a little bit more. I think I can blow it up just a little bit. Okay. As previously shown, colors are not substances or things in fact. Let me read that again. As previously shown, colors, or hence light, or colors itself, are not substances or things in fact, but records of currents of vortexia, what they like to call waves, and are in proportion, the colors they're talking about are in proportion to the deviation from linear to the adverse parallelism. So what they're trying to tell you is in 1882, let me share this with you, that by how the earth and its atmosphere is sitting in juxtaposition to the lens or the photosphere of the sun, so is what they call the solar wind or the bow shock, right? Owaspie telling you about Van Allen radiation belt in 1882. Nobody knew about the magnetic sphere in 1882. They didn't learn about none of this till the 20th century. Late 2000s. Even though much of it may have been theorized, it was never proven. Owaspie is dropping this info in 1882. Right? So let's go back. So depending on, see, they think light travels. Light doesn't travel, doesn't move at all, right? The photons, right, which many people think are like atoms, are the shapes of atoms. They're not. They're like needles, right? They have pointed convection points at the ends and on different parts of the surface. They're needles. This is what a photon is, or an ion. They're needle-like. They're not like little balls, right? So light doesn't actually, in and of itself, bend. Doesn't bend, nor does it move in a wave. All right? And the proof of that is whatever is perpendicular to the linear line by its lack of parallelism, like, so for instance, let me show y'all, let me turn my camera on. For instance, right, you got the line of light doing this, like this. Depending on which line is in adverse to the parallelism, so for instance, in the daylight, high noon, your sky is going to be more nitrogen based, it's going to be blue. Depending on the morning or the evening, you're going to get a red shift, right? And that happens because of the parallelism to the light. So the more you do this, right, is the more the color changes. Right? The line doesn't break, it's still straight. But in adverse to the parallel line, right, of light is the color. So it could be like this, it'll be blue. Like this, it'll be yellow. Like this, it'll be red. And if you notice that they are the primary colors. Watch this. As previously shown, colors are not substances or things in fact, but records. They're records of currents of vortexia and are or what is called energy, and are in proportion to their deviation from the linear line, right? Blue, yellow, red, okay? Almost like the driving, almost like the signs you drive with when you use your when you drive your motorcycle, right? These fall under the divisor or multiple of 3, right? Being the primaries, or what he liked to call he calls it he has a name, platonic solids. This is what he likes to call his platonic solids. But your platonic solids are in 3s. Let me show you all this. Your platonic solids, right, are in 3s, 6s, and 9s. See it? 9th octave, 8th octave, 7th octave, 6th octave, 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st. Remember, they still ain't told you what creates an octave. What gives you a pitch? What gives you a frequency? They ain't told you that yet. Not even Terrance. Right? Let's go back, though. Right? These fall under the divisor of 3. We see the 3 regularly. 3, 6, 9. Right? They are divisible by color. Also produced by the speed or the velocity of the vortex, acting upon sublimated material in etheric solution, or what they call space. Now, being the primary, these 3 being the primaries, we see them as yellow, blue, and red, the primary colors, corresponding to the times 11, right? This is when you need to know prophecy. 11, 33, 99. What's in here? 66. Of course, right? But let's go down here. Let me drop this to you, because the same thing applies to sound. Look, 9 and 4. Let's drop down a little bit. Sounds, as in music, are not substance, but are just like light. Currents of air in motion, which register their broken discharges, their compressions and refractions, right? The noise, the sound on the drum of the ear. Remember, I told you, he said they have a relationship. I said they're the same thing. I'm about to prove it. He just said it. It is possible for the ear, and if you know this to be true, Owaspy teaches how to do this. Not only do we have the book of Gratias, right, to teach this, but we got the book of Jehovah's Kingdom on earth, right? And we got Levitica also that also teaches how to teach this, right? How to be able to what? It is possible for the ear to be cultivated or so finely tuned that it can detect velocities, right? You can tell how fast the thing is going by the sound. So as to what? Determine colors by them. For an entity and in truth, objectively, sounds and colors are one and the same thing. I'm going to read it again. Sounds and colors are one and the same thing, but one is registered on your eye. The vortex registered on your eye is color. The vortex registered on your ear is sound. The vortex registered on your tongue is flavor. The vortex registered on your skin is emote or to feel. It's just about, it's all one force. So don't matter if you call it sound, music, light, gravity, magnetism, electromagnetism, kinetic force, potential force, weak force, strong force. It's only one force. Just different according to what? Volume, velocity, and where it's at and what it's around. I want to show him my I want to show him Mike's the brother Mike's M equals EC squared. You got it backwards. M equals E equals MC squared. Can't work without M equals EC squared. Let that sink in for a second. That's a whole nother lesson. We ain't gonna go there right now. Shout out to the big bro Mike though for putting that understanding together, and we just gonna keep going further, right? Because right, hold on. It is possible for the ear to be cultivated so that it can detect velocities so as to determine color from them. For in entity, in truth, objectively, sounds and colors are one and the same thing, but one is registered on the eye and the other on the ear. Dang, all these pop-ups. Get out of here. So it's either vortex register on the eye is color and light, or one register on the ear, and we call it sound. So in other words, the two organs, eyes and ears, nose and touch, and taste, right? But of these two organs, eyes and ears, we're talking about light and sound, right? The two organs of sense discover the same thing differently. There's no difference between sound and color. This is what we teach our babies, and how to tell color from sound. See, to one, it is music. To the other, it is color. So he on point. He on point. I can't hate on him. He perceived what he perceiving, right? He don't know why. He does know why. I've looked at this video. I can't sit here and say he don't know why, because he ends up telling you why. Right? But then he can't tell you who, what, when, where. Or with what. Right? Or how that started. That's where he's missing out. This is why you're going to need the game. Because I'm telling you, you already being attacked, and he already know this. Somehow, listen, man, y'all share this stuff. Tag him in everything, bro. Share this thing 3-4 times on whatever platform you got. Hopefully, he'll see one of them. You got fam over here, but we want to make you bulletproof. Right? We want to make you bulletproof for real, for real. And it's one thing about being a faithist. It's one thing we not. We not scary. That's one thing we not. We approach all fear-based doctrine head on. Oh, you're going to hell for black? Fuck your God. Let me show you why I'm saying what I'm saying. That's the difference, right? And then they talking about God, and we never was. We talking about the thing that make God. But you see, he's on the right path. Let's keep going.
Blue is like the key of G to me, or the color
key of
G. Yes.
What does the key of G sound like?
The key of G,
because I know you're musically inclined. So
yeah,
let me
but
pull it out of
it's
you real quick.
like 192 hertz.
Wow.
Okay. That's
okay.
at a low register.
Yeah. So I know that you have this passion for the insight and the revelation that you've been given about an array of things, from geometry to physics to science. But I want to backtrack really quickly, because I know most people want to hear a couple things about what you're doing with the wig. While we're here, we're on set
This ain't no wig
in Atlanta. That's your hair. That's what your
my
mama
hair.
gave you. That's your soul.
This Cadillac Richie's here. This Cadillac.
That's exactly what I was thinking, right?
Yeah, no, we're doing a film, and I thank you guys for coming here to set.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
Taking the time. It's me, it's Kevin Hart, Don Cheeto, Sam Jackson, myself, and a number of incredible actors. But we're doing a thing called Fight Night, and it's a night.
I can't hate her skin popping. She got that peanut butter.
That Muhammad Ali fought Jerry Quarry, and there's a little robbery that takes place.
Just a little robbery?
Just a little.
Who's on the robber side?
Oh, I don't know.
Somebody with a wig
Some
on?
bad people. Everybody got a wig on. Everybody got a wig on.
So what's your character's name in this movie?
It's Cadillac Richie.
Cadillac Richie.
Yeah.
Okay, Cadillac Richie.
Yeah, Cadillac like that.
How is this different from any of your other characters you played?
I think Cadillac is a bit of a sociopath.
Oh, wow.
I've only played a sociopath, I think, once in a movie called with Andre 3000, Idlewild. You see, I've watched you for a long time, Spats. And you taught me that when opportunity knocks.
Unison.
Sound doctor?
Yo, sound doctor. That shit fire, bro.
Let's go melodies, psychedelic.
You said the smart man answers. See, that was some really good advice. That was the closest I got to a sociopath, But Cadillac is a little more fun.
Okay.
A little more fun.
What was that preparation like, preparing? Because I've heard you say a couple of things in other interviews.
Now, he's going to explain to you how he preps for his method acting. And you're going to hear people later, because we're going to get into the haters who hate on me, right? But don't have any better ideas. And this is one of the things that they are going to bring forth. And I must, being honest, admit that it is a dangerous thing to open yourself up to a spirit. You dig what I'm talking about? That is true. But that neither negates nor refutes, especially to you supposedly old scientific, old historic ass niggas. You ain't even supposed to believe in spirit. Huh? Oh, you getting spooky on me now? Where was your punk ass Jesus at when he needed him? He had to call on Cadillac Red or whoever he was playing in Idlewild. I forget his name. Bucky or whatever. You dig what I'm saying? Where was your God with that good spirit to go ahead and make sure he do a great job and still get over the hump without no negativity? Because if it can hurt you, right, then it can also help you. Okay, and then still the proof is in the pudding. Y'all can't outthink his work. I know he about to tell you what he do. He let spirits take over him. He get a little vibe and he about to tell you. And that is right. That's scary. We don't rock like that. We tell the spirits what to do. They don't tell us what to do. We tell them what to do. You did what I'm saying? So we raise up dark demonic spirits around us, as we say over here in the Creator Gang. You bring them, we raise them. Dig what I'm talking about? So, with that being said, it is a valid point. You might want to fall back, and maybe that's what pushed him up out this life and got him up out of there, that he may have sensed something, or his Ashar is telling him, yo, it's only so many times we could do this, cuz. Bruh, we need, come on, you got something else to do. Right? Why has nobody come to debunk anything he is saying? You dig what I'm talking about? They don't have any better ideas. Let's watch him tell you how he do.
And I want to ask you about that, because I did some acting and studying acting, and you said something I've never really heard a lot of actors say about the process of acting. And you said that sometimes when you walk off, they walk off with your clothes.
Yeah.
Can you explain that?
Well, as an actor, you're more like a medium.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you really get there, you go into this zone and you really divorce yourself of who you are, and you just become a garment that something else puts on. Now,
Right.
a lot of
We know that to be true. We call it obsession, right? We call this obsession in a WASP. This is how it works. It can be a tough thing, but it also can be an open thing like this. And if you don't believe that there's been thespian actors forever and who are in the heavens, well, then you are a fool. He's obviously an actor, right? And a great one at that. Don't you think his Ashars or his guardian angels are also inspired by the arts and hence film and acting? Where do you think you get your inspiration from? You think it just come from you? Don't you think it's a hard job for an inspiring spirit to make you think you doing this yourself? Man is always inspired. He's never not inspired. Man ain't came with one thing on his own. Never. Nothing.
People sit up there and do impersonations of other folks, you know, instead of allowing that spirit, you know. But I sit up and I'll pray for a little bit and go in a dark place, go in a bathroom, turn off the lights, look in the mirror, or have the light on at first, and then after 1 minute, turn the light off, and you know, and search until you see your own glow, your own aura, and then you watch it change.
Wow.
And it's a scary thing because you'll feel like some hands are on you.
Wow.
And
now we understand this to be true too, especially if you ever read Owaspy and you read the story of Brahma. Remember when Brahma and Uchiv and all the fam was sitting down sitting at the table, and the spirit said it was going to withdraw itself and show itself to everybody, and everybody seen all the spirits except Hogue, right? And they was running and screaming and hey, look, when they finally calmed them down, Veda, the dude who ended up writing the Vedic text and creating the Vedic language, right? The founding father of the Brishvedi, besides his father Brahma, whose words, they were Brahma's words, not Vedas. But he said, and them niggas was molesting me. Hands was all over me. How you dig what I'm saying? I ain't like that. Hey, listen, man. Y'all gotta read. I'm gonna get into the story of Brahma. His whole story is nuts. Brahma, okay, what Jesus was already born as, an Aisu. This is where they get the name Jesus. Wasn't no J. It was I. But remember, there was a J in Aramaic. Anyways, right? Jesus was what you would call, or Yeshua was what you would call a mega prophet. He was he was an ISU. He was tapped in. I mean, all the way, right? He was one of them guys. Brahma was born high, raised as a 95, but he turned into what Jesus was, a super prophet for all intents and purposes. Not that Brahma wasn't one, not that he wasn't a leader and all that stuff, but by his lifestyle, he was able to raise his spirit rate. He was born a 95. That's crazy. That's the highest you can get on this physical plane is 99. Before your spirit is too high, you'll kill yourself. You'll be doing so much good, you'll bust your heart. Brahma reached that. He reached 99 in physical life and became an Iesu. He wasn't born an Iesu like Jesus, like Chinese was, like Sakaya Buddha was, like Zarathustra was. He was able to become that on earth, still living, right? But we know he's telling the truth when they talk about spirits touching, feeling. You dig what I'm talking about? You feel them hands all on you. If you know, you know. Now, I ain't never tried to push nothing on nobody. But for those who have had and know they have had spiritual experiences that they can't explain, one thing they will tell you is that it changed them. They're different. They experience something they still can't explain, and it's different. Just your whole how you think and be changes. I can't explain it. When you know you've been through something, you know? So, I know he's telling the truth about this, about the hands touching, and you did what I'm talking about, and losing a little control and all that stuff. That's what the mediums say they do. Remember, Ezra, during the writing of Tanakh, lost control of his mouth for 40 days. Meow, 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 for 40 days. Right? We got 66 or really 88 of the books left. 80 of the books left. You did. He wrote 204. Meow, 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 meow. He wrote 204. So yeah, you can lose a little control or automatically write. We seen in Daniel 5 that the hand just popped up out the air and started writing on the wall. Didn't nobody even know what it meant. Let's not act like this is far-fetched, but it's dope that a waspy explaining what's going on. It's literally a dead nigga next to you in spirit. He low and can't and need to rise high. So you are a light, a beacon. Just like moss to a flame, that's what a faithist is. You're going to draw the dark niggas in. The super dark niggas you really probably won't get. They'll try to attack you, do something to you. But the people in darkness who looking for light, they look at you. They look at you. I'm saying since the time of the Ions, you've been this. Since the time of the great Ahuans. Huh? Since the founding of the great Egoquim in North America. Right? Since the making of the Indian 20,000 plus years ago. Because no, you haven't been like this, like you are forever. No, you haven't. You are admixed and have been admixed in America from day one. That's what make you a nigga. That's what make you Aboriginal. That you from everybody, but you here. Yes, over time you go on to birth everybody. But everybody already got what you got now. Now it's time to rise higher. Now it's time to get out of the looker shit. The hate, violence, racism, colorism, looker shit. None of them can add any benefit to anybody trying to look for higher light. Ain't no way. You just can't do it. Doesn't work that way. Sorry. But Owaspi co-signs this. And for those who know, we ain't trying to convince nobody.
Lose a little bit of control of what you're doing, but if you stay with it, you'll be inhabited by something, and then you'll walk out, and the character's with you, and you got to know how to.
Remember Beyonce was talking about that Sasha Fierce stuff. Like she say, she get up on stage and something take over her. She call it Sasha Fierce. He telling you the same thing. But what you got to understand is that whole industry is like that. Right? But guess what? So what? So, can you disprove his work? Back to the point, because see, this is what they're gonna do. I got to show y'all this. I'm gonna just scoot it up a little bit. I'm gonna scoot it up a little bit. Hold on. Wait. 1 second. Hold on. Watch this. Because this is what they're going to do. They're going to come with the scary spook tactic shit. And in the end of the day, they're either leading you back to a religion, a false god, an idol, a savior, a deity of some sort, or they're having you stand in no man's land and just look at him ride off into the sunset, whether you believe it or not. And you're just standing here with him on old shaky foundations, right? Of a collapsing understanding, right? But they're going to use this spooking. Now, mind you, these are supposed to be the great learned scientific men of the, and mind you, this nigga who talk like this, his name is Jason, right? I put him up on Owaspy a couple years ago because he was trying to act like his granddaddy did something with some type of calendar. Man, I put him and his granddaddy in check. And then gave him Owaspy. Here you go. This is how you know. This is how you prove it, cuz. You did what I'm talking about. He tried to battle back, but I'm light years above him. And I'm already slicing and dicing. So at this time, because he tried to come at me like, he tried to highbrow me like I didn't know what he was talking about. I learned what you was talking about 20 years ago. Catch up, mustard. Nothing you talking about that I haven't even talked about in the last 2 years. Nothing. You said you've been doing this. I've been doing it way longer than that. And it don't matter. Mastery ain't got nothing to do with age. Got something to do with ability. And what you gonna end up doing is showing, watch these guys. This is why, let me share this tab. This is why Terrence Howard's gonna need the gang. This is why it's important for y'all to share the live. Because this is what they gonna do to him in Hollywood. They're gonna get these nobodies. Like, I ain't gonna say cuz name. You dig what I'm talking about? I ain't gonna say cuz name. But that's him. And this is the dude, Jason, who think he know everything, but got schooled in Owaspy till I put him up on it. Time, history, everything. He was talking all this crazy stuff, and this is some years ago. Right? Y'all just getting up on me. It's about 5 years ago I put him up on game. Right? I'm just new to y'all. Intellectuals know Cosmo.
I'll tell you what, I'm still sharing my screen.
Yeah.
Watch this.
Yeah, I need to stop.
This is where they're going.
Yeah, just go down
These
below.
are supposed to be people who don't believe in ghosts and gods and goblins and none of that stuff and spirits and spooks and none of that. Right? Watch them get straight spooky. This is why you need the gang, bro.
So stop share.
This is how they're going to attack him.
Oh, sure, cool, got it.
Watch this.
Okay. So do you think Terrence Howard could be
Insinuation.
that?
And remember, I told you, it is a good point.
Man, say, let's
because
just look at
it
the
is
evidence.
in effect
Let's
true,
just look at the evidence
but
real fast. I'm gonna
they
sum it up
don't
for
know
you.
it.
So check it out, Nino.
Watch.
We're dealing with a man who's a method actor. Method acting absolutely requires someone to get so into a character they assume their traits and they borrow from their own historical emotional background. This is the danger of method acting. We've seen many method actors commit. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We've seen many method actors. This is the danger of method acting. Now, that's a good point. Prove how it's a danger. Prove it. Just because you say it. And dumb people did dumb things in Hollywood while they was high. It's fear-based, y'all. This is how they gonna try to tear him down. Same thing they try to do with the God spell. It's all fear-based. No logic. Watch.
Can't say that word, but I'll have the editor take that out. But let me just say something. I met Terrence Howard in the boxing gym in Houston when he was playing Muhammad Ali, and I got to spend a good couple hours with him, and I was showing some stuff in the ring, and he was acting like Muhammad Ali, and I found that to be very. He was method acting, you know, because he was acting like, yeah, and I was like, what's with this guy? I mean, he could turn that off. Like, why?
No, nigga, he can't turn it off. And see, that's what they saying. Look, their whole point of view is about how they felt about what he was doing. It's selfish. What are you going to say that's going to help anybody outside of yourself or your family? At least, wrong or right, and he's more right than he is wrong, Terrance Howard's ideas are going to change existence as we know it. What do you have to offer? Fear.
Why isn't he turning that off? And I remember that he was acting like Ali in the gym.
Hey, that's really interesting that you should say that, because we're dealing with a man who assumed 65 different personalities. Terrence Howard has been in 65 movies.
Oh, we should be able to say the same about anybody who went in 65 churches. See, this is what they don't know. Anybody who went into 65 churches. You ever been to church 65 times in your life? Huh? Had about the same demonic attraction on it, even greater in the church. You can go in. Yes, it's called method acting. And just like you said, does something take over? Yeah, you can lose yourself. And that is the thing of it. But if what takes over his body, right, is demonic, wrong, low, drugen, right? If that same entity turned around and gave him this information, you should be able to debunk it. You should have something already ready that's higher, ready to go. Where's yours? Where's your periodic table? You see? It's a nothing burger. What do they got to give you? Bed. Oh, you been sitting back. He was in 65 movies, y'all. Sit it back. Well, nobody said that city fad like you, Cosmo. Hold on. Let's get back. Let's get back where I was at. Well, nobody said that city fad. Listen.
Hey, let's just look at the evidence. Let's just look at the evidence real fast. I'm going to sum it up for you. So check it out, Nino. We're dealing with a man who's a method actor. Method acting absolutely requires someone to get so into a character they assume their traits and they borrow from their own historical emotional background. This is the danger of method acting. We've seen many method actors commit. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can't say that.
And then let's not forget, in the end of the day, both of these niggas trying to lead you back to Luamong. Yeah, the nigga that they don't even know, that's in their book, Revelations 19:11, got that name you don't know that's going to come down and judge war fairly somehow. That nigga on that nag, really a crack on a nag. Luamong in Christ, it's a white boy. What do Jesus? Both of his physical representations, Serapis and Jebus, both crackers. Look like both of these niggas. And in the end of the day, let's not forget he's trying to lead you right back to the beast. Right back to one of these beast religions. Fuck that. If Terrance wrong or right, I ain't going back to Christianity. Israelitism, you got to be crazy. None of that. Trash that. That's the impediment between me and my creator. What do you have to offer? Fear.
That word, but I'll have the editor take that out. But let me just say something. I met Terrance Howard in the boxing gym in Houston when he was playing Muhammad Ali, and I got to spend a good
5 movies. That is 65 times in his life he had to assume another personality and be so convincing that he got awards. He finished the movie. That's very convincing.
It's very convincing.
You have to understand what this does to the human condition.
What does it do?
28 TV episodes with over 61 individual episodes, 28 television shows. We're talking about somebody who all their life has been pretending to be someone else. This is what he is trained to do.
Is that kind of like multiple personality disorder?
They asked him why they even went on this rant is because they asked him, do you think Terrance Howard is a psyop? Right? And then he says, well, I'll tell you this. He's been in 65 movies and he was on a show with 61 week, 28. Shut up. Debunk what he's saying. You know why they won't do it? Because it put their God in the crosshair. Because if what he's saying right, if anything of what he's saying right, he's smarter than your God. And then it's a problem. This is why they don't like Cosmon. That's why they don't like Faithist. We prove we smarter than your God. Wasn't you just scared on April 8th? What Cosmon tell you? April 9th gonna come on, roll on around. It's gonna be all right. Send me that 10%. Huh? While we at it, you dig what I'm talking about? Sports channel. But look, what you got to offer? Fear.
I'm saying that we're dealing with either a single human personality that has become an expert at being a chameleon, or we're dealing with something deeper, and that's what I want to show you. I want to show you that.
Or remember, you see how you only left 2 choices. That was some devious, nefarious shit. Or he just smarter than you. That could be a possibility too. Or he's just on another level, vibrating so high that you're stuck in your ego trying to debunk him instead of helping. Hate, shame, damn on you, Jason. Now, you may have you ran a little roughshod on Sanchez, but you don't want this smoke with Cosmonian. Right? Because we're going to have to hit where you stand at. And if you notice, what he got on his neck, y'all? What's that? Jeebus! Nigga, you can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Nothing. I'm not even listening. You instantly a clown. To me, don't matter how much you know. I'd rather listen to a 5-year-old.
This goes super deep, a very ancient practice. You can call it what you want, demon possession, spirit mediumship, whatever you want to call it, but it's not something I'm making up. It's in the field. Terrance Howard even admitted it.
Yeah.
So check this out.
No, we just
This goes
watched
deep. This I
video
told you to go
and you
deep.
put it
Yeah.
in.
But 65 movies
65
in your
movies.
life is a lot. One movie takes a tremendous amount of time, effort, research, script.
How do you know? You ain't been in one movie. He said most actors don't get where he at. They don't method act. Now he gonna show you that part that I already showed you, right?
65 different characters
Right.
as a researcher. Now all of a sudden in 2015, people are like getting clips from things he's saying at award shows that there may be something deeper about
What is
Terrence
this nigga
Howard.
doing?
That's very interesting. His patents were filed in 2010. He kept a lot of this to himself.
He
But in
kept a lot of this to
2015,
himself.
he starts becoming
Got
noted
97
in
patents, but he kept
mainstream
it all to
media
himself.
that he's got this scientific interest. Comes up with a whole new system of logic. According this is self-proclaimed. 2019, Terrence Howard is explaining his scientific discoveries on movie sets with people. In 2019, he has a series of interviews in mainstream media where he's doing this, and then he
Where
got
he's
shut
doing
down
it.
like everybody else got shut down.
Like
Nothing
everybody
happened
else
after
got
that. Hollywood had this huge shakeup. List gets published. Hollywood's in panic. You already know the story. Now everything kind of dies down in 2020, 2021, 2022. Things start kicking back up again. And here it is in 2024. He makes an explosive debut on Joe Rogan. But 30 days before he went on Joe Rogan, he did a very strange interview wearing a
very
wig,
strange interview. We gonna see.
talking
We've been
about
watching
being
the interview.
possessed in
This
order to
same
be able to
interview
be
he gonna call
believable when he
strange.
did his
Just
acting
want to
role.
show you how they
Would you
twist.
like to see that video clip?
Yeah.
Let me share my screen real quick. This blew my mind, man.
Make sure
This
you
blew
put
my mind.
share sound on there.
But you
I
Okay.
told
believe
you,
in the
folks. I
Jesus
told you this would
who
be
got
good.
up out of a grave after 3
This is just the
days,
beginning, bro. This is just crazy.
right? And then the
This
nigga
is
flew up in the
crazy.
sky
All right, shit.
on a
I'm
cloud.
getting used to Zoom. Zoom is just the opposite of
Can you explain that?
Well, as an actor, you're more like a medium.
Mm-hmm.
When you really get there, you go into this zone and you really divorce yourself of who you are,
Mm-hmm.
and you just become a garment that something else puts on.
Now, now we don't need. We just giving it to you and showing you both sides of how they play the game. Now we just watched what he said, and then we watched how they twisted what he said. That it was some negative, dark, demonic. That ain't what he said. But that's how he dog played it. Now, if you scared of Jesus, if you're scared of Jesus, that is a problem for you, sir. Creator teaches us, no, you should not open your body up to mediumship, but at the same time, we understand polarity, sir. And if you rise higher, so are the Jews around you, sir. You become the savior, saving not only them, but yourself. They don't know what's going on. They don't understand the duality work on everything. Spirit, soul. If you thought they was the same thing, you got a whole nother thing coming too. But this is how they gonna attack this brother. They're gonna try to make him look like he crazy. And he's just on another level. Watch this.
Instead of allowing that spirit, but I sit up and I'll pray for a little bit and go in a dark place, go in the bathroom, turn off the lights, look in the mirror. We'll have the light on at first, and then after 1 minute, turn the light off and and search until you see your own glow, your own aura, and then you watch it change.
Wow.
And it's a scary thing
Yeah.
because you'll feel like some hands are on you,
Wow.
and you lose a little bit of control of what you're doing. But if you stay with it, you'll be inhabited by something, and then you walk out
Man,
Estrogen is killing men. In the next 60 seconds, I'm going to tell you all about this sneaky hormone and what you can do to stop it. So first
No.
off,
No.
Wow. Who's
Hey.
allowing himself to be possessed, basically. He's asking for possession.
You
I've
see
heard
what
of a
I'm
lot of
saying?
I've heard of a lot of other
How they
actors,
gonna
method
use it?
actors say this type of stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean,
Look how
I
they
don't like to
using it.
isolate particulars. If it was just a single thing, I'm going to show you a couple screenshots. If it was a single thing that had come up in his past, then we can basically omit it. We can say, hey man, he's just freestyling. Let me show you this. This website's famous, called AZ Quotes. They take famous people and they isolate 20 or 30 quotes these famous people have said. The whole website is about that, called AZ Quotes. Here's something Terrence Howard said. Well, hold on. Every one of us is an artist. And as an artist, you really can stroll into any venue that you want, as long as you take your time to learn the etiquette of the venue. The reason this is important is because he's literally admitting here that
Infiltration.
if he really wanted to pretend to be a scientist, all he has to do is learn their vernacular and he can pretend to be a scientist.
Is that what he said, or is that what he applied to what he said? Because what he actually said is that every one of us is an artist, and as an artist, you can really stroll into any avenue that you want, as long as you take the time to what? First, learn the etiquette, the knowledge, the how, the who, what, when, where of anything. That's anybody. He didn't say, "Oh, I'm infiltrating science to do what? Get killed?" That's all they're gonna try to do. This is why you can't have one Terrence Howard. It can't be one Cosmon. It can't be just one Faithist. Because somebody got to take it to the next level. And then somebody gonna take it to the next level after that. And after that. Because guess what? Malachi Maccabee not gonna see it the same way Cosmon see it. Daryl Cosmon ain't gonna see how Malachi Maccabee see it. But what we understand is that when we're doing it for the creator, everything that come out of it is just a benefit to the whole. He's going to give me a different point of view I didn't even see. I couldn't have seen it. And this is why it's the oneness and the beauty of it all, the harmony, the music of it all, the mathematics of it all, that actually proves the creator, but is its own self-glory, bro. Do you see this shit? You ever just watch the moon sometime? Man, y'all, listen, y'all gotta go invest in a telescope. Yo, you all right, cuz? Little girl. All right. So, no, that's not what he said. But this is how they gonna twist his words up, twist what he's saying around. Let's hear it out the horse's mouth, dog.
To say goodbye to it.
Right.
If you really want to
Yeah,
get there.
right,
You know,
yeah.
a lot of people are afraid,
Mhm.
you know, to empty themselves and be
Mhm.
filled up with something else.
Mhm.
But, you know, as an actor, you're an emotional prostitute.
Wow.
You know, you put on whatever you need for the John. You put on, you turn
Well done.
in a trick, you turn an emotional trick.
Wow.
And it's nothing
Yeah.
more glorious
Yeah.
than that.
Okay.
Mm.
So how do you
I
balance
guess that
the
would
separation of who you
I guess that would be to an actor. Isn't that the ultimate acting, to actually let the thing take over you? Isn't the point of acting is to do it so well that nobody knows you're acting?
really are? Or are they similar?
No. I mean, you got to remember, we've been here since the very beginning.
Mhm.
You know, there is no good or bad. It's just your perspective that you're sitting from. Is it beneficial for everyone around, or is it not? There's something that has to build up, and there's something that needs to tear it down. You know, what we call the tearing of it down, we call it evil or bad, but that's the process of magnetism or radiation. Radiation tears apart that which was concentrically brought together through electric potential and electric force. Electricity is always seeking a higher pressure condition, trying to get to the center of the apex, whereas magnetism is spinning southwestward, trying to get out. But the magnetism is necessary, because unless it broke apart that which was collected together, you would never have any new material to rebuild again.
Facts. It's a necessity. As a matter of fact, magnetism is a byproduct of electricity. Or first of all, they're all vortex. It's all one force. Just where and how it's being manifested. In a toroidal system called a vortex, its greatest power is at its extremities towards its inside. Right? This is the misunderstanding of the force they call gravity. It is not pull to the center, it's push from the extremity. Right? And the greatest force of the vortex actuates itself east and west along the axis. The axis of the vortex is the east and west. Its greatest force or strong force or electricity, right? Also, focus of light is at the Earth's equator or at its axis, right? It's moving east to west, west to east. You dig what I'm talking about? Laterally. But remember, this is toroid. Not just spinning in the middle, but also it has a weaker, a lesser, feminine, negative, receptive force called magnetism. It's the same force. Just the magnetism north and south. It's opposite of what he's saying. He right how with the magnetism is the weaker force at the poles. Correct. Right? He right. But what he don't understand is magnetism and electricity go together. And as he just told y'all, they are necessities. So he right in many aspects, but it's the why. But I believe he knows. Let's keep going.
And then that's the breathing in and the breathing out of universal purpose. Now, so at the end of the day, since the
condensing and expanding, condensing and expanding. Didn't Osiris say that? Didn't the great Osiris say that?
Creator made all things, and everything came from the Creator.
Right.
There is in the breathing out of universal purpose. Now, so at the end of the day, since the Creator made all things, and everything came from the Creator,
right,
there is nothing that is bad except how you are perceiving it. And made all things material to rebuild again, and that's the breathing in and the breathing out of universal purpose. Now, so at the end of the day, since the Creator made all things, and everything came from the Creator,
right.
there is no.
Okay. Huh? Dog whistle. Dog whistle. Do you see what we saying? We're not going to kowtow to this brother. We want to put him on a whole nother level to glorify the creator. Look who he worked for. Who he say do it all?
Nothing that is the purpose. Now, so at the end of the day, since the creator made all things and everything came from the creator,
Right.
there is nothing that is bad except how you are perceiving it and whether it's beneficial to everyone around you.
Let's go, man. Hit me with a vortex in the chat. Hit me with a vortex in the chat. What are you talking about? This understanding cannot be stopped. This is an idea that has reached its time. It is unstoppable. The hand of the creator cannot be moved. It's going to happen how he say it's going to happen. But the cold part about it is, if you was a real creator, you would give us a way to how to tell what's going to happen in the future and what's going to be going on and then how to deal with that. He did that too. Huh? He did that too. Do you know what the Arachna Umbungala is? Huh? You seen our timetable chart. You ain't got nothing like it. Nobody got nothing like it. This is why can't nobody come against it, because even your God, whatever religion you is, even if you praise the sun, your God told you that he gave you the sun, the moon, and the stars for seasons and times and months. But then failed to teach you how to reckon days, hours, months by using the moon and the sun. Because see, the thing is about prophecy is, as far as you can look backwards, you can look forwards. We keep telling you, time is cyclical. It's not linear. It's progressive. It's going forward and it's cycling. It's cyclic. It's in an arc. This is why they measure all time in arcs. I know. But this is how you start to comprehend higher. This is how you raise your spirit rate.
Because something needs to tear things apart. And if you want to be on the building side of it, then you have a sustainable relationship with the universe, because the universe loves to rebuild, but it also needs to tear apart at the same time.
Right. And I often say that, we do live in a world of duality, so it keeps equilibrium. When you mention creator and universe, can you clarify who you consider the creator to be?
Oh, well, I don't consider the creator to be any of the names that have been personified upon it, because if you think as above, so below, and everything in the universe has an equal and opposite mate, even in our chemistry, every element has an equal and opposite mate, like the opposite mate of oxygen is a +2 and a -2 within that same octave is beryllium. If oxygen is bonded with any other element, the moment that it comes in contact with beryllium, it will break that other bond, and immediate other element, oxygen, is a +2 equal and opposite mate, even in our that have been.
Can you clarify who live in a world of duality, so it keeps equilibrium? When you mention creator and universe, can you clarify who you consider the creator to be?
Oh, well, I don't
Now you hear listen to what he says.
Consider the creator to be any of the names that have been personified upon it, because
when they ask me, you know what I say? Ooh, wait. I say all is. all was and all shall ever be. When they ask me who he is, I say the all spoke. How he do it, Cosmo? All spoke or sound. The all spoke. The all made sound. And what happened? And motion was cymatics. What is the creator? What is the creator? He is all that ever was, all that is, and all that will ever be. How he do it, Cosmo? He created motion. The all spoke. And what happened? Motion was and is and ever shall be. So we should be able to see, and science should be telling us today that all things are in motion. Is that true? Watch this. Are all things in motion? Let's see. Here we go. Hold on. Watch this. Let me share this with you. I asked the question, is everything in motion? Look what it's saying. Everything in the universe, everything is in motion. Because of what? Forces exist in the universe. This is from BBC Science Focus magazine. Why is everything in motion? Right? Why? Let me show you why. Let me show you why. Because motion was and is and ever shall be. So sound created motion. Motion created force. That force being positive, right? This is called cymatics. Sound creating motion, creating shape or force. Being positive was called he and him. The all motion. What was his speech? But this is what made so much sense to me. This part right here. When it spoke, what did it say? What did it sound like? And it's made so much sense to me in English because I knew its Vedic understanding, and I also knew its Egyptian understanding and its Om. I knew its Great Eastern understanding. It's still Om. Right? But if he spoke, see? You see? But if he made noise, sound, but it's something, if you spoke, that means you said words. What did he say? Creator said, I am in it. I said, oh my good googly moogly. It made sense. And what? That not only made sense to me, but what did he do? He comprehended all things. Ain't nothing that he didn't already know or start doing or had been doing. Who knows? He could just be talking about just the beginning of our universe, or just the start since our sun. Not even the galactic center. It was just, who knows? He's been doing this forever. And he comprehended all things, the seen and the unseen. Nor is there anything in all the universe that is not part of him. Creator said, I am the soul of all. Not the spirit. Right? There's a higher part of spirit that's actually a personage. It's you. It's a small piece of him, but it's you. And because he is the all person, he gives you a personage. It's called a soul. It's the higher, etherically rarefied form of spirit. And all that is seen is part of my person and my body. By virtue of my presence, all things are. By virtue of my presence, life is. It's plain. Notice ain't nobody here. I don't see nothing about no thong. Ain't nobody helping. By virtue of my presence, the living are brought forth into life. I am the quickener, the mover, the creator and the destroyer. I am first and last. Ooh. When I heard that for the first time, I said, that's who I've been looking for.
If you think as above, so below, and everything in the universe has an equal and opposite mate, even in our chemistry.
As above, so below, or also known as the get sang, right? What many people misunderstand as the Star of David.
Every element has an equal and opposite mate, like the opposite mate of oxygen is a +2 and a -2 within that same octave is beryllium. If oxygen is bonded with any other element, the moment that it comes in contact with beryllium, it will break that other bond and immediately bond to beryllium because it's equal and opposite mate. So it's like, and the oxygen is feminine because it's part of the expansive side, whereas the beryllium is the masculine. So there's always this balance of masculine and feminine in the world that we see and in everything that we do. So I was like, how can a male?
Well, let's explain that. Let's explain that. Right? Let's keep going in the book of the Creator, 1 and 5. I am two apparent entities. Apparent. Nevertheless, I am only one. These entities are the unseen, stuff you can't see, which is potent. And the seen, your body, this earth, physicality, corpore, which is of itself impotent and called corporeal substance, or physicality. With these two entities in likeness of myself, what? Potent, impotent. What? Positive, negative, left, right, male, female. Right? With these two entities, the seen and the unseen, the left and the right, the positive and the negative, right? The going forth and the receptive, the electric and the magnetic. With these two entities and likeness of myself, through them I made all the living. Here is your great duality. For as the life is the potent part, right? The unseen part, the thing that when you look in the mirror that you see is you, right? Not the physical body, that thing behind your eyes, right? That gives it that spark, that twinkle, the thing that you know is you. That's not your physical body. That part is going to die, right? And go back into the earth. While the potent, unseen part, or what they like to call spiritual, huh? We like to call atmospheric or gaseous, part of man goes on to rise higher and higher and higher. Huh? But he said, I made all the living, for as the life or the unseen is the potent part, so is the seen, the corporeal part, the impotent part. And chief over all that live on earth, I made man. Male and female, I made them. Why? Because I'm negative and positive too. I'm going forth and receptive too. I am the Na and the Om too. So chief over the earth, I made man in the Na and in the Om, or the male and the female, the positive and the negative. Huh? Everything is in a great duality. And what we end up learning is everything is in a great three-way in a WASP. And, right, because they just talking about spirit or the atmospheric part or the gaseous part, right, and corporeal. But there's also another one, ether. That's what allows your spirit to live in the physical shell. It allows it to sit in it. Like a Russian doll. You ever seen those Russian dolls? A thing inside of a thing inside of a thing, right? A thing inside of a thing, we call it inqua, right? Right? But we also call that a manito, a thing within a thing, the world maker, right? Manito. Right? Chief over all that live on earth, I made man, male and female, I made them. And so that man could distinguish me, I commanded him to give me a name. What was the very first three sounds ever made? Eh, oh, eh. And man named, and he said he named it after the wind. And what? In obedience to my will, he named me after the wind, after the sound that the wind utters. And it said, eh, oh, eh. By the way, eh, oh, e, or e, oh, wah, is right in the middle of our country. We always been praisers of the Great Spirit. Right? But this is why you see that balance. Because in likeness of himself, he made you something unseen inside something seen. Dope.
God produce a male son without a feminine deity.
Fact.
Where does that come from? You know, and the stories of Jewish folklore, I appreciate, you know, the Israelites and their story, but they're not part of my history. So why am I subscribing to their deities? How have that been placed upon us? Why is it that black men who are not Jewish are getting circumcised?
Shout out to Elosh Shalom, man. After we get done here, man, y'all go over there, check that brother out. He dropped a heat rock. Ooh, ugly, a butcher session. Because you know how they like to, oh, JBN was amazing. Well, prove that. Ain't nobody proved that yet. Right? Go ahead. Right? We waiting. But the whole reason you even think you an Israelite is because a nigga got high one night and had a dream That nigga had some of that in that sensimilia. You dig what I'm talking about? He had some of that. This was back in the 1800s. Crowdy, he hit that tweed. Hit that tweed 2 times. He was sitting on the porch with his cousin. He got the coffin, and you know how you get them twinkle eyes? Yeah. That nigga said, yo, B, Flip mode's the best. Flip mode's the greatest. You dig what I'm talking about? We gonna be Israelites. Fuck it, let's just be Israelites, cuz. His homeboy hit the wave with him like, fuck it, let's be Israelites. Man, that's how y'all Israelites today. You dig what I'm talking about? Real talk. That's how y'all became Israelites. Your whole one West. Everything about your prophecy's been debunked. And you ain't had one prophecy never come true. Never. Jesus supposed to come back. Earth's supposed to end 2000. Come on, man. And what was that elder name that was in One West? The Ariel, I think his name was, man. He was you know what I mean, faking and shaking. You dig what I'm talking about? He's on the year 2000 doomsday clock. I remember all that. You dig what I'm talking about? I was old enough to see that it was straight bullshit. You dig what I'm talking about? I remember that. Them dudes, they fall right off after they so-called predictions don't come true. You dig what I'm saying? Then it is get a little ugly. They start to dipping off, falling off. You dig what I'm talking about? Next thing you know, you got people talking about, oh, they dead now, and I'm just saying. You know, that's just how it goes.
When we are not part of that Israelite place, why are we following their gods that they came up with?
Right.
You know,
So are you saying distinctively that faith and science are different, or is faith and science synonymous?
well, science is to explain natural phenomena.
Okay.
The whole point of science was to explain natural phenomena, and it should coincide with what takes place in the observable universe. And that should strengthen one's faith. And that's why I said as above, so below. So if here everything has an equal and opposite mate, and is necessary in order for the proliferation of life and the continuation of the death cycle that is just sleeping, and then you refold again and you're reborn again. And I don't
bullshit.
So I've always found it hard. I started off as a Christian. My mother raised us as Baptist and Methodist, and went through those walks. But then my father went to prison, and when he came out of prison, he was a Muslim. So we became Muslim until I was like 13 years old. And then there's this really cool brother named Yaqub. You know, really appreciated me. Had always had this wonderful musk sent to him, the order dashiki, and he was such a beautiful and kind person. And then one day I came home, and my father and all of his friends were sitting around talking seriously, and I was like, what happened? Well, it turned out that Yaqub, the gentleman, had cut the genitals off of someone, wino, that had urinated on the mosque.
Wow.
And I was like,
wow.
I didn't have children at that time, but I was like, how can a God of love have one, because if my child urinated on my house, there's no way I would cut his genitals off. So why is it that somebody would do that, thinking that they're honoring the creator? And I had to start rethinking things. And then I became a Jehovah's Witness, went through that for around 20 years. And I began asking serious questions. If God had never caused it to rain until 6,000, 4,000 something years ago. It never caused it to rain on this earth. So what happened? It never rained during the times of the dinosaurs. When precipitation is part of the entire thing. And like it said, the Bible is supposed to be the inspired word of God. Therefore, if what you find one lie in there, then you have to call into question everything else that's been placed there.
Sound like a lot of faithism to me. All right. Look what Jaja say. For I made the little knowledge I gave to man or corporeans to be a type of knowledge that is everlasting. To the corporean I gave two kinds of presents. Excuse me. To the corporean I gave two kinds of presents, objective and subjective. By the latter, or subjectivity, he can imagine himself in a far-off place, and the thought that proceeds out of him goes to a friend and speaks understandingly in the distance. This is called remote viewing. Are you teaching your children this? This is every day. In the OI speak. It's coming for Shalom. For I created him so. But he who goes objectively, right, in real time, must take his person with him also, his physical body, for I also created him. So that knowledge is objective and of a type everlasting. And I magnified these two conditions to the spirits of all men so that they could also appear objectively and subjectively in the places known to them. And this is the bondage I created to all the places on the earth and in the heavens, making all men understand the power of objective association. They got questions. Gang got answers.
And I'm not sure that that is the history of the creator. And I think the creator is so much more expansive than that. And the one thing that we all need to recognize, perfection cannot create imperfection. It cannot make any immortality, or eternal cannot create something that is non-eternal. You know, and everything inside the universe is alive. And what people don't recognize is that the entire universe is the creator, and we are part of that. So we are the creator within it. And when we do good, then God is good.
At
but
best,
when we do
co-creators.
bad, God works in mysterious ways.
Now, that was some slick shit to say. That was slick. You dig what I'm talking about? And you know, he threw God in there with the creator. And you know what I mean? He made it sound saucy. You know what I mean? It was real saucy. You know, oh, and God and all. See, this is what if he don't know, he on point. Right? If he don't know, he on point. Let's get up here real quick to this book of discipline. Let's get up here to this book of discipline. Because what did he say? Let's go back and see what bruh said. Hold on. Let's go back and see what bruh said.
You have the authoritative within that. And one thing that we all need to recognize, perfection cannot create imperfection. It cannot make any immortality, or eternal. A Jehovah's Witness went through that for around 20 years, and I began asking serious questions. You know, if God had never caused it to rain until 6,000, 4,000 something years ago. It never caused it to rain on this earth. So what happened? It never rained during the times of the dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm.
When precipitation is part of the entire thing. And like it said, the Bible is supposed to be the inspired word of God. Therefore,
Right.
if what you find one lie in there, then you have to call into question everything else that's been placed there. And I'm not sure that that is the history of the Creator.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Creator is so much more
And it's totality.
expansive than that. And one thing that we all need to recognize, perfection cannot create imperfection.
Mm-hmm.
It cannot make any immortality, or eternal cannot create something that is non-eternal.
Okay.
You know, and everything inside the universe is alive.
Mm-hmm.
And what people don't recognize is that the entire universe is the Creator, and we are part of that. So we are the Creator within an.
No. No. You are, yes, a part of the Creator. You have some of the Creator in you, but no, you are not the Creator. And even at your highest point of creation, which is giving birth to a child, you are only half of the equation. So at best, you and your wife would take to be the Creator, being that she is the negative or the receptive, and you are the positive or the going forth, the male. And so at best, it would take both of y'all to try to become co-creators. You are not the Creator. You didn't even make your own child. Once you understand cosmogony, you understand that all things come to man from outside of man. You didn't even make your own body. You can't grow an inch. No feathers. You dig what I'm talking about? Can't just grow a fur coat real quick in the winter. All right? Make your skin lighter, eyes bluer. You dig what I'm talking about? Skin darker. You didn't even create yourself. So how are you the creator? See what I'm saying? See the problem? But I get what he's saying.
And when we do good, then God is good. But when we do bad, God works in mysterious ways.
Mm-hmm.
But once you recognize the divinity within you, then the universe behaves as if you have the authority. And that's
The divinity in you. The divinity in you. What book you got that say you are divine? Huh? I got the book of discipline, where God tell you, this is God talking, true God. Don't get it confused with the Creator. Who does God say he is? I am your elder brother. And guess what? So shall it be with you, to rise in time to come. And to look back to mortals, look back mean you dead. So you're going to rise in the heavens in time to come and look back to mortals and call them to the exalted heavens, just like your God did. Because by the time you're going to be on your great grandchildren trying to raise them up. You're going to be long dead. You will be the ancestor in time to come. Those who rise up to a rank, a title, a position, called where you are sufficiently wise enough to control a heaven and an earth, that title that you gain is called, God. It's a rank, it's a position, it's a title. He's a spot worker, a janitor. Man, Man, big shout out. Big shout out to Cosby. Big shout out to Cosby Ford, man, for supporting the channel. Thank you for the real, man. You did what I'm talking about. Right on to the real, death to the fakers. You dig what I'm saying? The real support me. I know what it is. You dig what I'm saying? I know what it is. The real gonna always ride. That's what it is. Shout out to Cosby Ford, one of the realest to ever do it. He support the channel. I can't say shit. You dig what I'm saying? What you gonna say? You know? It's because of people like him, man, with them little twos and fews, man, that allow Cosmon to come. You dig what I'm talking about on the channel, even to break it down. Trust me, I'm taking away some time from my family or from some money or from something to talk to y'all. So I truly appreciate it, man. Shout out to you and salute to you and your family, fam. Right? He said the same thing gonna happen to you. All life, motion, and power, and things seen and unseen are by and through him, and neither is there ain't never been an angel nowhere in heaven who's so wise to comprehend them. Nobody has ever seen Jah like Isaiah seen the biblical God. Like ain't nobody ever whooped the creator like Jacob did to the Lord. And that's Yahweh in Hebrew, by the way. Ain't no angel, ain't never been no angel that was sufficiently wise to comprehend the Creator in his entirety, nor to see him as you see your fellow man. Moses saw him face to face. Isaiah said he saw him face to face. Who the hell was you looking at if you can't see the Creator? He is within all and beyond and over all. Right? But this is what they need to know. Right? Look what God say. Hear your God, oh man, and distinguish that the two, God and the Creator, true God and Yahweh, that God and Eoah, ego quim, ormast, right? God of the Bible and Jehovah of Owaspi, and Creator, are not the same thing. But this the dope part. And shout out to shout out to all the faiths, and shout out to the brother Sonetta who been pushing my whole idea since I brought it out there that what? Nor is your God more than what you shall be in time to come. I gave him this idea. He'll tell you. He just can't prove why you God. Gang brought that. Yeah, they tell you peace, God, and all that, but they don't tell you why you're God. Why you're going to get there. How do you get there? When do you get there? That's only in Owaspi. Look, he say, first you got to live. So first mortality. First you got to live. Then death. Then you got to die, which is the first resurrection. So once your physical body drop, right, your spirit is born into the first resurrection. That's one resurrection. One physical birth, one physical birth, one physical death, one spiritual birth. Yeah. This is where you get your 3 and 4 and so-called 7 levels of heaven, because you're gonna die 4 times and be birthed 3 times. You're gonna die to the first, second, third resurrection, correct? And you're gonna die in your physical body, but you're gonna be birthed into the first, second, and third resurrection. Then you graduated off the planet. They're your so-called 7 levels, right? First mortality. First you got to live and then die. With the first resurrection. Such are the spirits of the dead. Angels. Every angel is a dead man. Get that through your head. All the spirits of the dead is angels. Were one-time living, breathing men. So was God. God is just the rank of an angel. Right? Such are the spirits of the dead, angels dwelling with mortals upon the earth, where they abide, some for a few years, some for 100 years, and some for 1,000 or more years. Second, angel organization in heaven and their abandonment of mortals, which is the second resurrection. Shout to the Creator gang. This is where we going. Day 1. We out of here. Second resurrection. Bound. As a kingdom on earth has a king, and the king is nevertheless a mortal, so in like manner is the heavenly place of your God, a kingdom of angels, and the chief over them is God, an angel also. But we remember, every angel is a spirit of the dead, a one-time living man. That includes God. But let's drop down here. Look what he say. Therefore, I am like any other spirit of the dead, a one-time stinking living nigga that ate Cheetos and pooted. You dig what I'm talking about? A regular old Joe. Even as you are today. But now, he said, yeah. Back then, they didn't want me. But now, now I'm God. They all on me. But one within the organic heavens of the earth, God is a man. But also, man can be Shaitan, led by his surrounding, his lower drawings in nature and his selfish nature. So you can be Satan and or God. It's by your actions, deeds, words. You could tell me you were Israelite all day, but if you turn around and kill a baby, we know you not them people. Right?
That's why it's so important to keep your word. And what Jesus was trying to tell everybody was that you are God.
Right.
That's why it says God is.
That's a very emphatic statement. And I don't
see. That hit her like a ton of bricks. She took that well too. You dig what I'm talking about? She well trained. She took that. Because she's a Christian. She took that well.
I don't know if a lot of people are able to handle the statement.
Right.
And
look.
the essence of what it was intended. But the reason I wanted you to clarify is because even when we've talked off screen, you've referenced, even with the book you're writing, we're going to talk about that. You mentioned scriptures like Daniel when you were showing me the other Daniel. Yeah. So when you reference those scriptures, you're not saying that they're infallible.
No.
You're just saying that there are other things outside that we need to consider.
These are historical references within it. Like Jesus said, we were all made in God's image, right? So when you look in the mirror, do you see God? And when God looks in the mirror, does God see you?
Right.
Uh-oh.
That's the question. At what
Come
point
on.
somebody told us we were born in
Hey,
sin?
hey,
We were
that was
all of
hard.
that.
That was
And,
bars.
and when God looks in the mirror, does God? We were all made in God's image,
Mhm.
right? So when you look in the mirror, do you see God? And when God looks in the mirror, does God see you?
Right.
That's the question. At what point? And somebody told us we were
He
born in
over
sin.
her pay
We were
grade
all of
right
that,
now.
and that the desire to mate is a sinful thing. When a man is born with, in 1970, a healthy male produced 1,500 sperm per heartbeat.
Mhm.
That is a motivating factor towards getting out there and
We're gonna have
proliferating.
people
spreading.
have sex
No,
over the
no.
nation in a minute.
But one of the things that's interesting, we are 98.7% identical to simians or to chimpanzees
Okay.
or to apes.
What's that percentage again?
98.7% identical genetically. And we're only 1.3%, there's only 1.3% differentiation between between us and the simians, but how do they live?
Mhm.
They live in a harem
Mhm.
because of producing 1,500 sperm per heartbeat, so that and the women, the females, recognize that that's
Okay.
what's. So how is it that, as if we're 98.7% identical
Mhm.
to them, why are we attempting to live completely isolated and not following those same rules of nature? Why are we trying to do the 1.3%?
That's a serious question.
Yes.
And as a female, we've had so many issues with that because it sounds like polygamy. And
Sounds like nature.
it sounds like nature, which would be
98.7%.
polygamous. So my question to that would be, and this is something I've posed to other people who are of that same thought, which is, if it is in fact how we should be cohabitating, then how do we explain STDs when you're with multiple partners?
If
How do we reconcile that happening?
it's
You
with
understand what I'm saying?
it's within what takes, like, does the simians, does the chimpanzees walk around with STDs? No, because they do not allow the females to go and cohabitate with other males. Outside of it, stays within this community. Now, the difference between us, we are not in a position to carry out the natural order of things
Mhm.
because we are not self-sufficient.
Right.
We're not working within our own
Mhm.
environment.
Mhm.
So we have to ascribe to a different way of life. Like me, yeah, I have my one, and I don't have a desire to
Okay.
be with anyone else because this is not the
Mhm.
environment in which you can do that. But
Okay.
if it was great, if I had the environment that facilitated the natural course, I would love to have a few other individuals helping with raising the family,
Okay.
but at 55,
It's time. It's
my
time.
appetite is
That's a lot of work.
it's work
That's a lot of
I
work.
can barely keep up with my one now.
Mhm.
And
Exactly.
her sex drive, because she's 47 now,
Okay.
has changed. So now she wants to play, and I'm like,
Listen.
I was like 1,500 sperm per heartbeat years ago.
Listen.
I don't think I'm there anymore.
That's a lot of work. That's my other thing. It's like it's too much work to deal with one woman. Okay. So
But I'm just
multiple is gonna be a lot of work.
I'm just trying to exemplify the fact that
I get it.
that we are not living in
I get it.
under natural conditions, and we have a lot of problems associated.
So what would you say is your foundation as a man of where all of this massive information comes from? Your thought process, the way you think, what you receive, because I hear you talking about revelation a lot, but where do you attribute that? Like, where is that coming from? Because you don't think like the average person, obviously.
No, because I don't identify with average.
Got it.
I don't identify with that. When I look in the mirror, I see the creator.
Okay.
I don't see anything short of
Mhm.
the creator.
Mhm.
I'm
Mhm.
There's not one part of me that wasn't made from the creator. So there's not one part of me that's not perfect. Now, maybe my perception and understanding
Yeah.
isn't there because I've allowed myself to be influenced by other things,
Mhm.
but I see myself in the most humble way as being directly from the creator. And I see everyone else and everything else as being directly from the creator, even the plastic that makes this up,
Mhm.
that carbon
Mhm.
is still vibrating at the key of E, breathing in and
Mhm.
breathing out. We look at this and call it dead, but that Browning effect
Right.
is the life
Mhm.
principle continuing on in it. So when I recognize that this is alive, it recognize that I'm alive, and I recognize that this carries the same nature of the creator, then it recognizes that in me. And so there's an equanimity.
Mhm.
Now, Lawrence Burton, now you already know. You know I'm seeing what I'm seeing because you seeing it. Right? We understand. But right, being so close, right? He's very close. He's very close. Right? I don't think. Now we're gonna see in time to come. All right, because you're right. You right, bro. I can't deny that. But if you offering the light, he take it and then turn up another notch. Huh? Huh? Then we got to look at it again. We got to look at it again. Were they they may not have been the words of the creator, right? But they were in a sense lamentations. Huh? Calling out for what he know. He know it's dead. Just can't prove it to these niggas. Huh? Why? Why he can't prove it? Because the focus ain't on creator. This how we know it's not his words. We know. We know it's not his words. But we can't sit here and deny like this brother ain't giving off a gang of life. You dig what I'm talking about? I would love to sit down in the conversation than any of these so-called groovy gurus out here. You dig what I'm saying? Way more than any of them. You know, so I get it. You dig what I'm saying? I get it. But we gotta at least hear him out first. Gotta hear him out first. Because look at me. Look at me. Right? Cosmon rough tumble. He this and this and this and this and this and this. Right? But what they don't never add in there is Cosmon's smarter than y'all. And he's more intelligent. Way more intelligent. That's one thing. He aggressive. He mean. Riggedy row. You dig what I'm talking about? He be so aggressive. If I wasn't, you wouldn't even listen. You try to dominate the conversation with some dumb shit. Right? Let's be real about it. We know we are stiff-necked people. We is. You dig what I'm talking about? And we still babies in this, even in this era right now. That's what people don't understand. If y'all listen, if y'all can't get a wasp, I don't know. A waspy is ABC. It's 1, 2, 3. Like there ain't a street nigga in the world that shouldn't rock with a wasp. If you a street nigga, this the most sense you ever heard of anything. Because every one of them questions you asked as a street dude get answered in this thing. Every one of them. Why? And I'm not telling you what somebody told me. Right? What somebody thought about, somebody else was saying something about when they was talking about with the no, this firsthand. You know? But I'm gonna get up out of here. I'm gonna cut it short in a little bit.
You know, and I don't see
Rocket,
myself
though.
above a piece of tissue or below the creator himself. So there's a balance of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that's a very provoking mindset to have, because of your extensive experience in life that most people don't get to do, you know, with acting and everything else. What would you say has been the most rewarding out of everything you've done?
So I'm here to check out Keith. He's interested in setting up his LLC for his business. I'm going to show him Taylor Brand.
The most rewarding thing that's ever happened to me or that I've accomplished in
That you've
this time. Being able to define the entire electric field or the plasmic field and patent it.
Yeah.
And the things that I discovered with that prove that the platonic solids, which our entire infrastructure is built off, were only averages and approximations, and that all of the postulates and axioms they've built off of are erroneous. And being able to present that, but also being given the blessing of defining the magnetic field, the feminine side, and patenting those, the expansion or the unfolding of the universe. But then being given the opportunity to define the neutral that sits between it, or the Constitution, which is the linchpin that mitigates between the micro, which is the electric world, and the macro, which is the magnetic world. And this works as a bridge, a common factor between. So having discovered and patented the grand unified field equation, and putting it into practice and building all of these new industries that the grand unified field equation, and putting it into practice and building all of these new industries.
We'll go back in the morning, right? I think I'm gonna break this down for a second part, but this is the if y'all remember when he did his very first his lecture, very first lecture in the college, and he was trying to pull up a slide, right? But it wouldn't show. This is that slide, right? And I thought, I thought it was interesting. I gotta go get ready, go get some of this money. But I thought it was interesting that when I pulled up his slides, the very first thing he showed was the universal heartbeat. If y'all, what he say? What needs to be heard? Stand the difference between God, Creator's word. Facts, bro. Facts, bro. Do y'all know? And I'm gonna end it on this. Do y'all know that the earth got a heartbeat? If you know that the earth has a heartbeat, hit me with a 1. If this is the very first time you ever hearing about the earth having a heartbeat, hit me with a 2 in the chat. If you know the earth got a heartbeat, hit me with a 1. If it's the very first time you're hearing about this, hit me with a 2. Right? We're going to get back into this, break some more of this down in the morning. You dig what I'm talking about? Go back through the brother Terrance video and let him just keep talking. You dig what I'm saying? But I ain't trying to say it's just so much to critique, but they're asking questions during this thing that Owaspi got answers for. Easy answers. You dig what I'm talking about? But I thought that this would be interesting to end on, right? The universal heartbeat. How many of y'all know that the earth has a heartbeat? Right? It beats once every 26 seconds. You lying, Cosmo. You always capping, Cosmo. Huh? You always capping. Right? The earth's heartbeat, is a rhythmic pulse of micro tremors that occur every 26 seconds. So every 2 times a minute, it goes boom, boom. That they can feel it. Right? It picks up on seismographs. They call them micro tremors or microseism. Right? Micro tremors that occur every 26 seconds through the planet's crust. This pulse is known as a microseism and is so small that it doesn't feel like an earthquake. Seismic stations around the world can detect the pulse and have. And the signals are most notable in North America, Europe, and West Africa. American seismologist Jack Oliver first recorded the pulse in the early 1960s. Huh? They're applying this to Schumann resonance, right? Schumann resonance is in the air. What is affecting the earth? It is the vortex. And the Schumann, the part of the Schumann resonance area that is still in the Earth's atmosphere. Boom. It's all the vortex. Objectively, it's in the Earth's atmosphere. That's what I'm saying. There ain't no, ain't no fight back with that, or there's no true. You can't say Schumann's resonance is in the atmosphere of the Earth. It's in our magnetosphere. American seismologist Jack Oliver first recorded the pulse in the 1960s. Scientists have since tried to figure out its source. Y'all just didn't believe this thing was living. Why do you think they call it Mother Earth? Because it's alive. It brings forth life. Oliver found that the pulse originates in southern or what? Equatorial Atlantic Ocean. I bet you it go all the way through on both sides. Right along the equator. I wonder why. Could it be that the most force dumped from the vortex is at the equator? Cosmonian. I would have got away with it if it wasn't for you creator gangs. Other potential sources include the Bight of Bonny, part of Gulf of Guinea, and the continental shelf under the world's oceans. It's all of them. But I thought that would be a cool spot to end. You dig what I'm saying? Earth got a heartbeat. Beats every 26 seconds. They ain't figured it out yet. That wave they looking for? Yeah. Proof of ether you looking for? That energetic dump? Yeah, you looking for is at the equator. And guess what? Every 26 seconds, there's a pulse proving that what they call cosmic or quantum ionic waves are smashing into the Earth everywhere along the equator. Don't matter where you go on the equator, you're going to pick it up. Don't matter where you go in the world, you're going to pick it up. But it's just the loudest in the equator. Coinky dink. Hell of a coinky dink there, Cosmon. Hey, man. I got to get ready to go to the JO. So, man, if y'all learned a little something new, you did what I'm talking about, a little hot little lesson. I thought that was down a little fire, little build real quick. We're going to chop it up, finish the rest up in the morning with the learn and burn. You did what I'm saying? And I'll be right back at you, man. Hey, you know what I need you to do? Know what I need you to do? If you know what I need you to do, hit me with some fire emojis real quick. If you know what I want you to do real quick, hit me with a couple fire emojis real quick. Hit me with a couple little fire emojis if you know what I want. If you got an idea, a possible, you dig what I'm talking about, variation of what I may ask. Know what I need y'all to do? Need y'all to breathe in. Let the light in. Because I'm Cosmon and I'm out.
And oh yeah, put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feel it when you're feeling up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air, oh yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you feel it up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air, oh,
It's that job
left, that chow mein, that palpable, that towel mein, since sun south in the arc of Wayne. My brain moving like Tao saying, so as above, it's so below. That up and that down thing, this flow is atmospherian. I call that a ground game. See, water is knowledge, so if I'm teaching, you're learning. So how your God make a sun without vortexing current? See, the pattern is ponic, I'm reaching out for my people. Oh, watch me flow through your speakers, you feel the force of the eagle. And when the force hits the equal, I'm taking off like an eagle. Police popped the pastor yesterday for pushing put equal. My DNA is Moshe, mix that thing with higher water. My spirit rate is OTN, it's just a higher order. Got more light than Kavita, rap a lot just like Tila. Went from sinner to saint, shout out my big homie Sealer. Got more torque than a sports car, got more work than a door star. And the 4 million I make, I'm giving the Dr. Umar, oh yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you're feeling up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air, oh yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you feel it up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air, oh yeah. Super 7 in my rites and ceremonies. I'm married to Jehovah, holy matrimony. Confucius say, in the words of Caillou, before you hit the tomb, be a bridegroom. Only got one question for Miss Susan B. On how to last Ahuin is now a Angui. Claim my inspiration, I'm just thinking thoughts. But in the way of God's, we gon' keep it short. Why Jesus wanna kill me, Matthew 10:34. Just a couple questions that I'm needing to know. Oh, watch me flow, it's so potent. Set the vortex in motion. Super 7, I'm floating across the Aegean Ocean. Oh, you a Muslim now, so I guess you making salat. Well, I'm an Israelite, I'ma make him at the Shabbat. Got Moses on the bumper, super slap off in my spaceship photosphere. So I stay lit, peace and light to the faith is so yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you're feeling up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air, oh yeah.